Hey everyone, how's it going? Kevin here with Push to Talk, and I thought I would sit down and do a video, something a little out of the norm and a little different. I was in the kitchen making dinner, and I realized suddenly, oh yeah, WWE was having a pay-per-view tonight. They were holding their Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which is one of their annual pay-per-views that they hold. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna turn this on and check it out. I have not watched WWE in about 2 years now, probably, maybe a little more. The last WWE show that I saw, that I was actually in person at, was the Hell in the Cell with the whole debacle between Seth Rollins and The Fiend. When Seth Rollins got DQ'd in the Hell in a Cell, I was in the audience there, and I heard the backlash during that match with the AEW chants and everything. I felt bad for the performance during that. I may be guilty for chanting AEW myself at that show, but that left such a sour taste in my mouth that I just gave up on WWE altogether and thought screw this, I'm done. I started hearing good things about this whole Roman Reigns heel turn and whatnot, and I really like Prince Devitt a lot in WWE. The Demon, I guess, or Finn Balor wrestling as the Demon right now in this match. I loved him from New Japan, and I loved him from NXT. Didn't really see a lot of his main roster stuff, but had to check this out because between him and knowing that people are kind of into Roman Reigns now, I thought I'd check this out. So I kind of wanted to review this match, just this one match, from the perspective of someone who's an AEW fan, for sure, a New Japan fan, and not much of a WWE guy. I tried to go into it, with a pretty open mind. I understand that, comparing WWE to AEW is a lot of the time it's like comparing apples and oranges. So I'm not here to bash on WWE at all. I think, for the people who love it, I think it's great. I'm glad people who love it seem to really, really love it. And I'm always on board for that. Do what makes you happy, right? It's just not really my cup of tea. But that being said, there was some stuff I really, really liked in this match. There was a pretty decent build here, albeit pretty slow. They built to something, all right. Which kind of, well, we'll get to it. But let's start from the beginning here. We got the promo package building to the match. I thought this was pretty cool. It reminded me, of the promo packages they used to do back in the day. I'm assuming WWE still does it this way pretty consistently. So this is cool. I'm into it. I'm jamming. Pretty good setup to the story. Before Roman Reigns makes his entrance, though, there's this big old CG Roman Reigns. It looked like a PlayStation 2 Roman Reigns on the screen. Well, I wasn't really into this. I forgot that they did this, actually. I do remember seeing some of this the few times that I have tried watching WWE again. And they did it here. This was kind of weird. I don't like these. And if they're going to do them, they should probably get some better renders up there, because it looks pretty bad. I'm sorry. But it was. Roman is out, and this dude actually looks like a badass. I kind of get it now. I get the appeal of Roman Reigns when he's out here. He's looking pretty stoic. Love the fact that he's with Paul Heyman. I've always loved Paul Heyman. I've always thought he was hilarious. I remember when Brock Lesnar first started, and he was paired with Paul Heyman. I was probably 16 at that time, and I digged both of them. I loved those dudes, so I like Paul Heyman. I understand Brock Lesnar came back recently, and they're playing on that story between Heyman and him or something. I think that's dope, and that's cool. But happy to see these guys together. Entrance is looking pretty cool so far. It looks pretty epic, but it's cool and epic in a very Marvel cinematic universe kind of way. That's not my favorite stuff in the world. I mean, it's not for me. Again, I know there are folks who really, really love that stuff, and I think that's great. But you can definitely tell there was some kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe influence here on the entrances, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, WWE is a relatively mainstream product, so it would make sense that they would try inspiration from something like that. If I was a little kid, I'd freaking love this. I'd be losing my mind if I was a kid watching this. I'm sure I'd be super into it. So, it makes sense that people like it. Right on. Wasn't for me, though. Thought it was a little weird. We did get a pyro blast here, which I liked. But unfortunately, like, the crowd didn't seem very excited to this entrance. Seemed pretty flat. We had a lot of this and not a lot of this. That was something I'm not used to. I'm used to crowds going nuts in the stuff that I watch. So, well, I get it, whatever. It was probably a long show and people might be a little tired, so I understand that. Out comes the Demon. He also is pretty dope looking, actually. This entrance, again, very inspired by that kind of Marvel kind of cinematic stuff. But it was cool. I like darker stuff, obviously, and this was up that alley for sure. He got a pretty loud reaction from the audience when he came out. I wish we could have seen cuts of the audience during his entrance. The camera was just kind of fixed on him the whole time, so I couldn't really see what the reaction was from the audience. But unless the audio was sweetened here, it sounded like he got a pretty good reaction here. So that was cool. Again, I get why people would like this, and specifically, I get why you would like the Demon's entrance. Even I was kind of getting into it a little bit, being the jaded old man that I am. But I thought it was pretty cool, right on. Another thing that kind of surprised me was like how long the entrances are. I don't know if they're always like this, but man, they really they took their time with the entrances on this. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I understand the importance of an entrance, and I understand the emphasis that WWE in their kind of sports entertainment style put on the entrance. Like, it makes sense, and I get it, and people are into it. But kind of seeing it from an outsider, it's kind of dumb to say it that way, but seeing it from someone who watches a different product, man, it was kind of crazy how long those entrances took, but like, right on, cool. All right, so now that the crowd is warmed up and the entrances are done, we got the wrestlers in the ring now, and they do a really long like stare down of one another. I thought that was cool, building up some tension, just kind of scoping each other out. I don't see that very much, in what I like to watch, so I thought that was actually pretty cool. I was into that. The match right away from there just jumped into a lockup between the two. Right off the bat, Roman Reigns is showing his power here, and he knocks down Finn Balor, or the Demon. Demon's back up. He starts into another lockup with Roman. They kind of back into the corner a little bit. Demon fights out with some pretty damn good-looking strikes. I forgot how good of a striker Finn Balor is. I thought those were pretty nice. He was really rocking those hamstrings. Roman Reigns. I liked this. So we have Roman showing the power. Great. I mean, it makes sense. We have Finn Balor showing the quickness and the striking ability here. So we kind of get an understanding of where they're going for here. We know it's going to be brute and brawn versus quickness and striking. Like I said, Demon early on started hitting those hamstrings of Roman Reigns, trying to take away the base. Pretty common thing that we see in a little guy versus big guy match. Roman, though, continues to show power by hitting Balor with a Samoan drop and then a snap suplex. And things are kind of moving, albeit really slowly. They're moving at a real slow start here, which is totally fine. I get that. I love New Japan, and that's all about the slow start. But they're kind of starting off pretty slow here, taking their time, building up the story, which I really liked. Then things start to kick into higher gear here, this being the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. They kind of had their no DQ match in this one. So Roman is out on the outside. He grabs a kendo stick from under the ring. And then behind him, kind of cinematically, you see Finn Balor pop up on the other side with this concoction of his own. It looked like a kendo stick pack, or like 4 kendo sticks kind of wrapped together. Looked pretty cool. It reminded me of Nick Cage light tubes. I know it's a kind of pretty far reach to compare those two things, but that's what it reminded me of for some reason, because of the shape, obviously. But I laughed. this is where we first get the first like real big audible pop from the crowd for this match. People seem to really like seeing Finn Balor hold up those kendo sticks, and he wails Roman Reigns in the gut with them in the midsection when they're back in the ring. Fans loved this. I thought it was cool. I liked the kendo stick thing, and he really wailed Roman Reigns with those kendo sticks, so I thought that was pretty cool. Reigns is then kind of slid out and stuck between the ring and the apron on the outside, and it eats a nice big PK from the Demon. That was pretty cool. We've seen this type of thing before, but I actually really like it when they do this. Pretty good stuff, and those PK kicks, man. The Demon is sick. I think he's awesome. I think Finn Balor's really, really good. I really, really, really like this guy. Not gonna lie, I wish he was in AEW. I'd be stoked, because, man, this dude's on fire. I dig him a lot. I forgot how good he is. Back on the outside, we now have the Demon going for a table. We get a pop from the crowd when he goes for this table, but he's shut down by Roman pretty quick to some pretty good heat from the crowd on here. People really got excited over a table here in this match. I don't know if that's a super common thing that we see in the WWE, but folks were really stoked to see Roman pull out the table, or Balor pull out the table here, and they pooped all over Roman once he shut him down. Then Roman sends Balor back into the ring, grabs a chair. Roman into the ring after Balor with the chair, gets a couple of shots in here. Not really swinging for the fences or anything, but he's doing the kind of, the thing where they hold their chair vertically and boom, down into the gut. We get what's going on here, right? Makes sense for the match. Nothing looks crazy. I wouldn't expect anything to look particularly tough or brutal from WWE, but made sense for the story, right? That's what it's all about. This is entertainment. They fight a little bit more back and forth. Eventually, they're both back onto the outside. Roman sent into the steps, and Balor finally gets a hold of that table. As he's sliding the table back into the ring, Roman hits that cool sliding dropkick thing onto Balor. I think that's a cool looking move. Roman Reigns looks really good when he does it too. I think that's a great Roman Reigns move. I think that's one of his big staple moves that he does. Really liked it. Thought it was great. I like the story that they're playing here with the table and Balor going for it, crowd getting jazzed, and Roman just denying those tables. Thought that was a good part of the story, and I really liked that. Let's see here. Then Roman actually takes Balor over to the barrier. He reaches over to Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman hands Roman Reigns like a mask, like a black coronavirus mask, which I thought was neat. Finn Balor wasn't wearing one, so I don't know if that's like policy or what, or just part of the Roman's character if he's wearing that, because I don't know. I think it's a good thing that he's wearing the mask, so I wouldn't see why that's a bad guy thing to do. That wouldn't make sense to me, but who knows? I'm not the one booking it. They then fight into the crowd a little bit. Crowd is pretty controlled compared to what I see on the shows that I watch. Usually the crowd is right up in the action when they go into the crowd on the shows that I watch. But that's cool. I understand that they're trying to be safe, and that's great. They eventually fight their way on over to the kickoff show desk, where Roman throws Balor onto the desk. He takes a pretty nasty bump here. Looked like it hurt, for sure. I bet that didn't feel good at all. I liked this. Let's see. Then Balor fights back after being thrown onto the desk, leaps off said desk into a crossbody onto Roman through a table that was already kind of set up there. This looked a little staged to me. Obviously it's wrestling. I mean, come on. But, looked a little obvious. But that's okay. They eventually fight back into the ring, and Demon sets up that table finally. So I'm loving this whole idea with what they're doing with the table. I love the psychology here. I think that's great. I think that's brilliant. That's the kind of stuff I really like. Reigns avoids the table, though, and instead he choke slams Balor in through the table. So again, great storytelling here. I love what they're doing with the table. I think this is fantastic. It's probably the best thing they've done in the match so far, is the whole idea of this table. Balor is absolutely destroyed once he is kind of put through that table. And then Reigns does the smart thing by immediately going for the pin. Logical sense, but Balor kicks out. Great, the match continues. Great reaction from the crowd here. This match is getting some meat to it. I don't love all of the spots, and I don't love how they handle some of the spots and the way that they do them, but I think the psychology and the storytelling up to this point is doing really, really well. Roman slowly walks to the corner while he's talking some trash out to the crowd to go for the Superman punch, waiting for Balor to stand up. Balor is up. He avoids the Superman punch from Reigns, answers with a chop and then a Pele kick. Thought this was great. Balor's starting to fight back. We're getting some actual momentum in this match, and things are starting to build pretty well. Roman's then is actually able to connect with that kind of short version of the Superman punch. It's not my favorite move in the world. I think it's a great comedy move, for sure, especially like when Orange Cassidy uses the orange punch. I love it as a comedy move. Not so much into it as like a finisher or an actual offensive move, but, you know, it makes sense what they're going for. It looks epic, right? He's like, looks like kind of super villain when he does it. That makes total sense, given what the product is. Let's see. So this gets Roman back into control. Roman now, for some reason, is yelling at the crowd and saying, "I'm the man," instead of staying on Finn Balor. I don't know if this was the best decision here. He probably should have just stayed on Finn Balor. He already had plenty of heat. So I don't know why he had to go for more here, but that's what happened. He sets up for the spear. Demon counters with a click kick and then a sling blade. So Demon's still trying to fight back here. He goes for the pin, Balor goes for a drop kick here, but Roman hits his spear instead. He goes for the pin. Balor kicks out by hitting Roman Reigns with a low blow on the kick out. I loved this. I don't think I've, at least in recent memory, haven't seen anything like this before. And between this and the table stuff, like, I'm getting it, right? I'm understanding, like, okay, WWE can do some stuff right. I really liked this. I loved the kick out with the low blow. I thought that was hilarious. Out of the ring, he then hits a tope con hero, which I was really excited to see. He hits it really, really well. He really nails that thing. He has great hang time. He gets Roman back into the ring, and Balor sets up to hit that double stomp. I think he calls it the coup de grace. Goes for the pin, but the pin is broken up by the Usos. So we think Balor has a chance here. We think he's finally fought back. He's going to take this, but it's broken up by the Usos. I guess they're in a stable with Roman Reigns, called the Bloodline. I actually hear really, really good things about it, but I haven't, personally sought it out yet. And after seeing this stuff, like, I think I might, but we'll get to where this match goes from there. The Usos get the table. They're acting like they're going to put Balor through it, but the Demon fights back. We're getting a lot of excitement from the crowd. People are pretty hot to see him fighting back out of this one. But then he turns a corner as he's done fighting these guys back, and then out of nowhere, he is cleaved in half by Roman Reigns and sent through the barrier. That looked pretty brutal. I would not have wanted to take that ever. I would probably literally die from having my insides explode all over to the outside, which is not anything anyone ever wants to happen to their bodies. Looked like it was going to happen here to Finn Balor. And I thought this was great. My notes, I literally typed it in my notes. I loved this. I loved this spot. I loved the build. I loved the fight back. Up until this point, like, the match was really great. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but like, it exceeded my expectations for sure. I was pretty surprised with what I was seeing, although a little bit slow for my taste and not, as crazy or technical for what I like, but I get what they're going for and I'm digging it. Until this happened. So, I'm going to try to stay positive when I talk about this part of it. This part was really not for me. What started to happen next. What happened next, I think, has no place in a pro wrestling match ever. I get that the WWE isn't pro wrestling, it's sports entertainment. But I really hated what happened next. I thought, like, man, we'll get into it. I was disappointed. So crowd's going nuts. Things are awesome after that spear into the barricade. But then the lights go totally red and we get a sound effect of a heartbeat. Once that heartbeat hits, Finn Balor like flops like a fish on the floor, like his heart is beating and he's coming back to life. For some reason, I don't know. I guess the spear killed him, and now he's coming back to life. His heartbeat is coming through the speakers in the stadium, and the lights flicker with it. After one beat and one fish flop later, he's back up on his feet. He's ready to fight again. For some reason, the lights in the arena are red, and for some other odd reason, Finn Balor's entrance music starts playing, like this big epic moment. Like, I don't know, I didn't get this. Smoke is coming out. It's starting to look kind of like a movie here, which I think was kind of weird. Lights are still red. Smoke is still going. His entrance music has been playing for like a good minute here at this point, maybe more by the time they're back in the ring. Before they got in the ring, there was some chair stuff on the outside. I couldn't even like pay attention to the chair stuff or enjoy it at all. Because, man, I thought the whole heartbeat and red light and music thing was so dumb that at this point it just completely killed everything else that happened up to this point. Which is a bummer because I was like, dude, sweet. Like, maybe I'll check out WWE again. The more wrestling, the better, I say. But after seeing this, I was just like, dude, I can't. I don't get it. So after the chair stuff, on the outside, they're back on the inside. The lights are still red. The music is still playing. Finn Balor's up on the top rope like he's going to hit his coup de grace. And then the lights kind of flash, kind of like there's a strike of lightning or something. And the top turnbuckle breaks. And the top rope breaks and Finn Balor falls. I don't know if Roman Reigns, his supernatural power is like he's the Undertaker or something now. I really didn't like this. I mean, yeah, WWE used to do stuff like this back in the day during the Attitude era for sure. I mean, I just said The Undertaker, and I liked it as a kid. I'm sure if I was a kid and I was watching this, if I was like 10 or 12 and I saw this, I'd be losing my mind. I'm sure I would love it. Hell, I loved the Undertaker and supernatural stuff they did back in the day when I was a youngin'. But this, I don't know. I get it that it's WWE and this is what they're about, but this did not do it for me at all. Balor falls. Roman then hits him with the spear. Everything returns to normal for the 1, 2, 3, and the match is over. Yikes. Up until the last like 5 minutes of the match, I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was pretty good, and I thought the stuff they did with the teasing of the table and the story with the table, I thought that was great. I loved the babyface fighting against all odds type of thing. I thought that handled that really well. I thought they did a great job of psychology and storytelling in the beginning of the match when setting up and showing, hey, Roman's strong, but Finn Balor is, quick, and he's got the chops, literally. And I thought like the build up to what was ultimately embarrassing to watch, but the build up to that last kind of final segment of the match, I thought was awesome. Like, I loved Finn Balor fighting back from the Usos and sending him through the table. I loved how he turned the corner and wham, is just obliterated by Roman Reigns. I thought that looked great. I thought that was a really good looking spot, man. It looked like it hurt. But then, like, man, they really, not only did they take it all away by doing the funny ha-ha kind of like weird cinematic stuff by the end, they not only took away everything that happened before that for this match, it's turned me away from WWE again. I really want to give it a shot. I want to like it. They've got really, really great wrestlers there. Roman Reigns seems awesome, dude. He seems like he's really good. And Finn Balor seems like we all know he's awesome, right? And they've got like Matt Riddle, who's amazing and hilarious. And some of the other guys that they have, like, even Randy Orton to a degree can be pretty good. Keith Lee, like, they've got, not to mention everyone in NXT, like Tommaso Ciampa, but man, like, I can't do it, man. This thing, it was just not for me. Unfortunately, like, I hate to say it, but it really left a sour taste in my mouth. As someone who left stopped watching WWE cold turkey completely and only watch New Japan and AEW now. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what to make of what the end of this match was. I thought it was pretty terrible. I'm sorry. You know, that being said, though, if I was a little kid, if I was like 12 or something and I saw this, I would love it, dude. I would be the kid rocking the Finn Balor t-shirt to school every single day. If I was like 12 or 13 and I watched this, I would have Finn Balor posters on my walls. I would be into Roman Reigns. I would have loved this if I was a kid. I would have loved the entrances. I would have loved the whole heartbeat thing, dude. I would have thought it was the sickest thing in the world. But unfortunately, I'm 34 years old, and I've been watching wrestling for a long time, and I can be pretty jaded at times, which sucks. But man, dude, not for someone like me. I think. I think I'll probably make a video now, feeling a little inspired about like why I don't watch WWE and who I think it's for. I'm not here to bash on it or say that it's like awful and it should be off the air and I hope AEW kills them. I'm not here to say that. I'm here to try and be like open-minded and critical in kind of a fair way. I hope this video comes across like that. I'm not trying to make anybody upset by posting this. But, you know, man, I think I'm upset, though, with like how they kind of handled this. I mean, that doesn't belong in wrestling, you guys. So I think it just further cements the point that, yeah, WWE isn't pro wrestling, it's sports entertainment. Good on them for what they do and if people like it, but this wasn't for me. I think right now I'm going to go watch G1 Climax. I think I'm going to finally watch Night 2. I still haven't watched it yet. I know, I've been busy with other stuff. I've been playing so much Tales of Arise lately. It's crazy. I actually appeared as a guest on this week's episode of the Jump Crouch podcast. I think it actually comes out next week. But check that out. I talk about Tales of Arise there. That game seems fantastic. And I always love hanging out with those guys. Good times. But thanks for watching. Let me know if you watched this match. Let me know what you thought of it. If you liked it. I don't know. Did you like the heartbeat stuff? And if you did, what did you like about it? I'd love to know. I'd love to have a conversation about it and gain some other perspective from someone else as to why this might be good. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram. My handle is pushtotalk1. And I'll see you guys soon. Might not do a video until Wednesday for Dynamite recap, but we'll see. We'll see how inspired and energetic I'm feeling for the rest of the week. So again, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good rest of the night.